This program brought to you by Warringah Park.
Something extraordinary happens.
It's the horse and the rider, that's the team.
When a gangly off the tracker
He was overlooked as a racehorse. They felt he had no talent whatsoever.
pairs with a girl from the outback.
Ever since she was tiny, she's always only ever wanted to do eventing.
And he's jumped a fabulous clear round.
You don't come and work for us unless the dream is Olympics and to be the best.
And a series of sliding door moments
I was just in the right place at the right time.
send them on a journey together,
He's a gritty little Australian.
reaching the highest of highs
You'll never believe this.
and the lowest of lows.
It was horrendous. I knew she was hurt badly.
Quick.
It's scary and we both got our lives on the line really, and to have a horse stick with you through that is incredible.
Go Hazel!
The big goal is Tokyo. Hazel and Clifford, they're really up to it.
This is the story of when Hazel met Clifford.
It's been a hell of a journey.
Dead set Aussie legends in the making. Adelaide Parklands, South Australia. The host of the Australian International 4-Star 3-day event.
Crowds were pouring in to watch their stars in action.
An equine triathlon, the only one of its type in the Southern Hemisphere.
The Adelaide 4-Star is the only event in Australia in 3-day eventing which is equal to the Olympics, and so it's really, really significant.
For elite Australian eventers, the pinnacle is to earn a place in the 4-star class at this event, holding the potential to launch their career into the equestrian games and further onto the Olympic team.
Olympic level and World Equestrian Games being the premier, as in the 4-star, the most challenging. Not many athletes are at that level, so there's only 6 4-star events held around the world, and 5 are in the Northern Hemisphere and 1 is in the Southern Hemisphere, and Adelaide is very privileged to host that.
When you ride here, there's an extra pressure, and I think for Australia it's a fundamental stepping stone towards, team riders and so on. If they want to sort of come across the pond and be competitive in the rest of the world, they need to be competitive in this environment.
Eventing is not a sport for the faint of heart.
The winners are dour operators. They just keep getting up after the knockdown, but they've also got to be real thinkers.
It requires top-level skills in 3 completely different disciplines: dressage, cross-country and show jumping.
Someone asked me the other day, can you change your horse? Well, no, the horse has to be good at all disciplines, and that's what makes it such a challenge.
Well, we're down to our final horse here in the Mitsubishi Australia CCI 4-Star.
Relative newcomers Hazel Shannon and her horse Warringah Park Clifford are preparing to compete at the 2017 4-star event.
Number 99.
This is the beginning. This is what all the work's been about, and Hazel and Clifford are probably as good as they've ever been. It's been a bit of a fairy tale lead-in. Now it's so finely balanced that just the shift of the wind can change the results. But right now, we're looking real good. The goal is a gold medal at Tokyo in 2020, and this is just part of the lead-up. Winning here is one of the accolades that we feel she will take on her way on that journey.
Equestrians aim for the World Equestrian Games and the Olympics, so they're 2 big chances to be overseas and ride for your country. And this event has a huge amount of importance towards selection. The ideal situation was it'll be smooth sailing and you'll get picked and your horse will be happy and healthy and you'll be happy and healthy, but it's never that easy.
Both Clifford and Hazel competed at the 4-star for the first time last year, and Hazel's all too familiar with the challenges ahead of them over the next few days in this class.
Cross country is probably, I don't know if I'd say, would you say it's more important than the others?
Well, 4-star possibly.
Yeah.
See, a 3-star, you can win on a good dressage score and just go slow cross country. Whereas at 4-star, it's pretty much make or break. Got to do a good job on that, otherwise you're not competitive.
think, well, I guess the cross country is huge because you can get really hurt. So, it's dangerous. Here you go, Clifford, you got a little friend now.
But despite the looming danger, Hazel has worked with the 12-year-old thoroughbred long enough to have every faith in him to get her through the rounds.
Partnership with a horse and rider is a huge thing. So some people have partnerships with some great horses and some people don't. So I was just lucky to have a partnership with him, and he's very talented and his personality is very unique. You don't have many horses who try quite as hard as he does.
Just how this unlikely combination got to be here at all, let alone having stolen the eventing spotlight, is a story that years before no one could have predicted. Hazel's hometown of Machilba in far north Queensland is about as remote and non-eventful as you can get.
It's a little tiny town and it's got one shop, which is a petrol station, a post office and a little general store. And it's got a little school, and this main road doesn't have lines, it's just one lane. It is bitumen though. It is most well known for being taken off the map for 10 years and Machilba not realising.
But despite its quirks, it's here, growing up in this small farming settlement, that Hazel's future took shape.
Hazel's always been a bit of a quiet achiever. Whatever she did, she always seemed to dedicate herself to. She did very well at school. She could have gone on and done anything from school. She could have gone and been a vet or a doctor or anything, but she's always chosen the horses.
Me and my brother were born into riding. He's a camp drafter. When he was younger, I think the thing that turned him off any of the English disciplines was the jumpers. He was not wearing jumpers.
For Hazel, the path she chose to follow for riding was cemented with an innocuous childhood sliding door moment.
Many, many years ago, in the days of VHS, I recorded this event off the telly, and I remember her watching that, just glued to the screen, completely mesmerised by it, and she's, never looked back since.
That pivotal moment was to be the first of many. As soon as she finished school, Hazel headed south to the Ryans Newcastle Equestrian Centre in New South Wales, a place for only those who trainer and Olympian Heath Ryan believes have got what it takes.
She hadn't ridden eventing before she came to us. She comes from a stock horse camp drafting background.
Lovely, come back round to the right, just watch those quarters don't drift out.
And she turned up and she was very quiet. She was very comfortable with the work, and we just realised the kid wasn't just going to roll over in a week or two.
Very nice. Jump. That was super, give him a pat.
The staff, the people that end up working for us are the ones that are resilient enough not to ditch their dream. As soon as you lose your dream and you don't want to be the best, then we work too hard to justify it.
That's good. Give me a little bit of left shoulder in. Left.
So you don't come and work for us unless the dream is Olympics and to be the best.
Having proven she had the passion to continue, Hazel faced her next hurdle.
Well, I just started at Heath. Well, I've been there for probably a year, and I didn't really have a horse to ride.
That's when she was introduced to Clifford, a nondescript horse languishing in a paddock right next door.
Clifford had been bred in Tasmania by a lady called Sue Devereaux to race, and so he was too slow, and her sister has an equestrian centre next door to us at Heath's, and so she sent it up to her sister and said, can you do something with him? I want him to go and do something else.
I'd use it with my staff a little bit. The horse would get passed on a little bit. You know, it wasn't a very special horse, you know, good for a 12-year-old at a pony club meeting, you know, and then Hazel got him.
No one was going to fight me for him because he was sort of little and unimpressive and was just a funny little chestnut thoroughbred out in the paddock. At the time I thought, well, it'd be really great if I could get to 1 star because it'd be really great for me to sort of go through that and learn that, and the owners would have been happy and Clifford would have been happy. And anyway, we get to 1 star and then I go 2 star and then 3 star, and sort of that's how the journey started.
It felt like destiny had led Hazel to Clifford.
Could Hazel Shannon hold on to her overnight lead into the show jumping?
And together, almost as if out of nowhere, they shocked the world by winning the 2016 four-star event.
Well, delighted she is, and delighted with Clifford. It is a win, and a four-star win for Hazel Shannon.
Oh, it's massive. It's what I've been aiming for my short life. No, don't cry.
I mean, this little horse from Tasmania and this little girl from North Queensland won last year. It's an amazing feat.
What a competition it has been.
If you told me how he was going to turn out and the partnership I was going to have with him and what I was going to do with him, there's no way I would have believed you.
The win was incredible.
Her performances were just starting to become Australian headlines.
And catching the attention of the Australian Olympic selectors was a big step towards the dream.
In the lead up to Adelaide four-star, Hazel was hot. She was virtually unbeaten and cleaning up everywhere. We thought that Hazel should have been seriously considered for the Rio de Janeiro Olympics, but the selectors just felt that she hadn't done enough big performances, and so she was left off the plane.
Though she may not have made it onto the team that year, the notoriety they had gained quickly turned everything the duo had worked for on its head and threatened to become their undoing.
I was on the verge of losing Clifford. It's not something I like to think about.
Clifford had become a huge asset overnight and a business decision for owner Wendy Ward.
Wendy, our neighbour, had financial difficulties and was forced to sell him.
There was a lot of interest, of course, from overseas, and the world was very interested.
And this caused a lot of grief for us because we could see a gold medal coming with Hazel and Clifford.
The Olympic dream they had worked so hard towards was about to be ripped right from under them.
Hazel and Clifford are about to launch into the world, and we were gone.
Coming up,
I was desperate.
the incredible twist
You never believe this.
no one saw coming,
It was just a fairy tale story.
and tension
Hot little bastard.
before the first test.
We're in trouble here.